What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns Bears preseason week 3 recap as the Browns wrapped up their 2022 NFL preseason with a 21-20 loss to the Chicago Bears. And now we get ready for the games that matter as 2 weeks from tomorrow, the Browns will be in Carolina to face off against old friend Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers. That should be a doozy of a game. But man, oh man, based off of what I saw tonight, I am really hoping and praying that Andrew Berry and company really try hard to improve our receiving core and interior defensive line because I'm telling you, man, I've said this time and time again that our receiving core is insanely top heavy, and it is. I mean, you got Coop and DPJ, they are the bona fide one and two, and then you got two rookies. One's injured right now, but when he was on the field, he looked good during practice. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see him during the game, and of course, that's Michael Woods from Oklahoma/Arkansas. And then you have David Bell, who did play a little bit tonight, and to be honest, he looked good. I was really impressed with his ability to catch the football. I believe he was 3 for 3, 3 targets, 3 receptions. Good stuff out of the former Boilermaker. Good stuff. I was really impressed. Mike Harley made some plays. Javon Wims, man, that dude really tried hard to solidify his spot on the roster. I mean, he made one crazy catch, which of course it was nullified because of a penalty. But regardless, he made a great catch. He was making plays. He was trying really hard. Mike Harley actually would have had a touchdown, but it got negated due to his butt hitting the turf before he crossed the line. And other than that, I mean, receiving core didn't really show much. Now, in terms of the interior defensive line, we already know who's pretty much making the team at that position. Marion Winfrey, Jordan Elliott, maybe Tommy T. But yeah, we could really use some extra beef at that position. Now, Isaac Rochelle, he really showed out during preseason. I think he's making the team, and that might come at the expense of one Chase Winovich, the guy that we acquired when we traded away Mac Wilson. Because Chase Winovich, I don't think he was able to get on the field at all during preseason. If he did, he didn't do anything. You know, as you always say, the best ability is availability. You got to get on the field, you know? Especially when you got a guy like Isaac Rochelle, who we picked up later in the offseason, out here showing out like a beast. Speaking of beasts, D'Anthony Bell looked good tonight, too. Made some plays. But, man, I tell you what, there's some big-time gems that I saw tonight, too. I was really impressed with a lot of the guys. Now, in terms of the quarterback position, we saw all three quarterbacks in action tonight. Jacoby Brissett, 13 of 23, 109 yards and an interception. Not great stuff. I mean, really, as a whole, the starter unit just looked like they were just going through the motions. Like, they're like, we're only out here because we kind of have to be out here. Get some reps, whatever. Just get us out of the game, pretty much. They were being careful, which is not bad. Josh Dobbs came in 11 of 20, 89 yards and a touchdown. Kind of led the team back into the game. And then Josh Rosen, 4 of 6 for 42 yards. Didn't really do a whole lot. Like I said, he would have had a touchdown pass to Harley, but Harley's tuchus was on the turf before he crossed the white line. So, overall, not horrible. But, again, we'll see how Brissett does with the full starter unit out there week 1. Okay, because not a lot of starters played. No Cooper. DPJ played a little bit. Schwartz was out here freaking dropping passes left and right as usual. He was 1 reception on 6 targets, bro. Are you freaking kidding me, man? One of those passes was right at him, and he dropped it. Like, I literally can't right now. I literally cannot take him. I don't think I've ever been this aggravated when it comes to watching a player. I mean, it's preseason. But dude, you gotta make plays if you want to make this team. You're not a lock. You're not Amari Cooper. You're not DPJ. I mean, they're locks. In my eyes, you're not a lock, buddy. You needed to have a great, preseason, and he didn't. A whole lot of drops. I'm going to keep saying it. He's all speed, no hands. His initials are literally AS, all speed. I mean, he could be effective as a good receiver and stuff if he only could just catch the ball consistently. Like he'll catch a ball and then have like 3 straight drops. Now on one of the interception, uh, this is kind of funky. Brissett threw it to Schwartz. Schwartz went to go get it, but then Schwartz ran into a defender and fell down. That's how Jacoby threw the pick. So, of course, right? Yeah, of course. Uh-huh. Classic Anthony Schwartz. Mm-hmm. Classic Schwartz. Now on the ground, John Kelly led the way, 13 carries, 31 yards. Not bad. Did not see Jerome Ford, which should tell you all you need to know about his status on the team. I think he's pretty much made it. I mean, I think he made it after week 1. Dearness Johnson, 7 carries, 29 yards. Josh Rosen, 3 carries, 7 yards, and a touchdown on a QB sneak at the goal line, following the Browns defense forcing a fumble. Good stuff. Johnny Stanton, 3 carries, 6 yards. Felton, 1 for 4, and Josh Dobbs had 1 for 1. Through the air, Javon Wims, 4 receptions, 41 yards. 9 targets, so good stuff out of him. Mike Harley, 3 for 38. Caught every pass thrown his way. Same thing for David Bell, 3 for 36. David Njoku, 3 for 34 yards. Bradley, 2 for 2, 26 yards. Good stuff. Felton, 2 for 2, 15 yards. Harrison Bryant, 2 for 2, 15 yards. Forrestal, 2 for 6 for 13. He was actually targeted the second most, actually tied with Anthony Schwartz, who was 1 for 6 for 8 yards. It's embarrassing. Wow. He could literally be like a mini Tyreek Hill light, but he's literally Tyreek Hill without the hands. He needs to be living on the jugs machine. If he makes this roster, he better be thanking the graces of God that nobody else on this freaking receiving corps showed out. Because I'm telling you, if Michael Woods, which I think he'll make it, if Michael Woods played, I guarantee you, Schwartz would have been bye-bye. Or if the Browns brass had focused more on the receiving corps, he would have been bye-bye. He would have been bye-bye. He's also lucky Jakeem Grant got hurt too. Because Jakeem Grant actually has hands. And he's fast as hell too. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens there. We had 4 fumbles. Perion Winfrey forced a fumble, or recovered it. Mike Harley fumbled it. Nakia Griffin-Stewart had a fumble. And Jordan Kunazik had a recovery too. So, good stuff. Now, in terms of how the defense did, Sean Jolly had a sack tonight and a QB hit. Not too often you see that from a safety. One of only 2 sacks. The other one was Curtis Weaver, who, as we all know, is not safe on this roster. He could easily be cut. But we'll see again what happens at the defensive end position. It'll be interesting to see who makes the roster there. Chris Odom was actually injured, so that might have opened up a spot for Curtis Weaver. But again, not up to me. We'll see what the Browns brass decides. Now, everyone was anxious to see how Cade York was going to do. And he was 2 for 3 from field goal. And he did not kick an extra point. So once again, we lose a game because of a missed kick. And a failed 2-point conversion too. Yeah. But hey, you know what though? Cade York was banging them things at, during warm-ups. He was hitting from 60. It's like, yeah, it's cool. You're hitting from 60, but there's no pressure. I mean, obviously, you're not. I mean, maybe he could hit from 60 like in a game, but especially with that wind whipping, we'll see how that goes. Punts. Corey Bajorquez, 5 punts, 237 total yards. Had a touchback and one pinned in the 20. Not bad. Now, another position that I was really watching was our returners because, of course, Jakeem Grant is out for the year. We had Aesop Winston had returning 3 punts, 21 yards. Demetric Felton had one return for 9 yards. Kick returns was all Jerome Ford. He only had one for 22 yards. So, yeah, it is what it is. And we'll see what this roster looks like. Of course, if I hear about any trades or anything like that, I'll be sure to make a video and talk about what happened. The date for roster cutdowns is Tuesday, so the Browns are probably going to get their moves done early on Monday because that's what they do. It's how they've done it the past 2 weeks, so I expect the same here. And got my eye on the Guardians game right now as Jose Ramirez just popped out again, as usual. Captain Flyout, as usual. I'm just ready for the regular season, man. I don't know about you guys, but now it's time for the games that matter. And we'll see what this roster looks like. Again, just because you make the initial 53 doesn't mean you're safe because you have waiver claims. And I know this team is going to be very active on the waiver wire heading into, I believe it is Wednesday when Wednesday when waiver claims happen, I'm pretty sure. So you already know it's going to be busy. And then we fill out the practice squad, I believe, the next day after that, too. So I guess the good thing about us only having 3 preseason games is it gives every team essentially like a full week to like get everything settled and give everyone essentially a full week of practice together instead of trying to rush everything. But yeah, let's get on with the regular season. Bring on the Panthers. Let's freaking get it. Overall, team looked decent, and there was no really major injuries besides Nick Harris. That was good. It's always good news when you don't have really any major injuries to any key starters besides Nick Harris, who of course went out on the second play of the freaking preseason in Jacksonville. But yeah, we'll see what else happens. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog 99, and see how this roster shapes out. But I'll see you then. See you tomorrow for Guardians Mariners. All right, and Crazy Dog, let's go Browns, and I'm out. Bye bye.